recap of our last class, and then we will go ahead and we will learn.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let's start our today's session, and let's have a quick recap of our last class, and then we will go ahead and we will learn the new things today. Okay, so yesterday we have seen what is field symbol. So field symbol is nothing but it's a placeholder for an data object, right? So here also we have seen like if we are going to assign one field symbol, let's suppose if this is if you have some electric wire, right, and that one point is representing with field symbol and another point is representing with some data object. Okay, data object means variable. Okay, so in that case whatever you are going to change over here, right, whatever value of field symbol will be here, 10, 20, that same value is going to be reflected on the other hand, right, on the other side. That's why we have compared with a electric wire. Okay, now also we have seen like it's working as a placeholder. It's assigning to the same memory address, right? So whenever you are going to change anything in a field symbol, same is going to reflect in the data object as well. And if you are going to change anything in data object, the same is going to reflect in the field symbol. Okay, this part we have seen. There are two types of field symbol. One is typed field symbol and another was generic field symbol. So the type field symbol, it is a fixed type. Whatever type you will define, you can assign to those type only. But in the generic field symbol, if we are going to assign if we're going to define a generic field symbol, you can assign to any type. Okay, let's go and see this particular concept. Taking some time. Just let me try to connect once again. Okay, now we are able to log in. Go to AC38, and this is the last program which we have created yesterday. Okay, so here if you observe in our last class, whatever the field symbol we have created, right, this is having a certain type, ts_mara, right? This is having a certain type over here. Today, in example number 6 also, we have seen like here you can see that we are having the type is C, and here this field symbol also is having the type C, and the same field symbol I'm assigning to the same like both is having the same data type. Okay, so today what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to show you over here. I'm going to define a field symbols. Okay, I will copy this program, maybe just go back and click on this copy button, program number 8, copy, local object, change, yeah, and maybe we will change the description that field symbol or of any type, or this is also known as the generic field symbol because it support any type, generic field symbol. It's not of fixed type, right? Just I have changed the description over here, and field symbol here, instead of type C, I'm just going to give the type any. Okay, type any. So if I'm going to give the type any, meaning of this means it will support any kind of data object, any type of data object. So here you can see type C is there, and I'm assigning LV underscore test, this particular data object, to this particular field symbol. So this will also work. There is no problem. Check the syntax. You can see there is no problem. Activate this one and put the breakpoint, and I will show you. Press F8 and press F6, F6 and F6, right? And you can see the LV test is also 15, and FS underscore test will be also 15 because the latest value has been updated as 15 for this particular data object. So whatever the latest will be there at both the places, it will be reflected, right? Because it's a field symbol, it's a placeholder pointing to the same memory location. Okay, now if we're going to mark it as a I, data type I, integer data type, right? In that case also it will support because this field symbol is of type any, so there will be no problem. Okay, if we're going to mark it the data type pack, this will be also supported because this field symbol is type any. Okay, activate this one, and this also I will show you. Breakpoint, press F8, and you can see the currently it is not assigned. Press F6, so it will be assigned. I'm writing this assign this data object to this field symbol. Now it is assigned, and if you will see at both the places it will be having 5 because here I'm given the 5 over here. After that I'm assigning this field symbol with 10. Press F6 and you will see at both the places 10 is there. Again at both the places 15 will be there. So whatever the latest value will be there on any of the this particular field symbol or data object, the same is going to reflect at both the point, right? Activate this one and it got activated. Now fine, let's note it down this fact that we are having the generic field symbol, right? So type any, and here the typed fixed symbol. So in the generic field symbol, when you are going to write type any, here we are having two parts. Okay, here we are having two parts. So let me go ahead and study. We are looking this part, right click, and we'll open a new slides. Okay, and I will copy this. Let me copy everything from here. I'm trying to copy. I'm not able to copy. Just a second. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, copy, and I will paste it over here. Okay, here I'm having a space. I will show you. So field symbol is of type any. This type any, what it does actually, if you see about this type any, you know, it will point any type of data object. This field symbol of type any. Another generic one we are having in this generic field symbol, we are having two types actually. Okay, let me cut it and I will show you in this way. It will be having better idea. Okay, so what actually I'm trying to do, that we are having two types of generic field symbol. One is this one, and another we are having field symbol generic type any table. This is for any kind of internal table, right? Any kind of table. So this is for any kind of table. You don't know how many fields is going to come, right? So for in that specific, that the you don't know what is the table, right? It can be Mara table, it can be Marcy table, it can be Mardi table, right? So whatever the table you are going to define in that kind of scenario, it is going to work, right? For so it will point any table, okay, any internal table. This will also we will see any internal table, and this one will be pointing to the any data object. So okay, let's go into the system and we will see the table this time. Okay, so to see the table, maybe here itself, or let me go back, I will create one more program and there from scratch I will show you what actually I'm trying to do. Click on this create button and field generic field symbol, generic field symbol of type any table, for any table, okay, for any table. Okay, executable program, click on the save button, local object, and come over here, and let's suppose you are having a table called Mara table. Okay, suppose you are having a table called Mara table. So you know that in Mara table you can have lot many records, right? So let's define a internal table it underscore Mara type table of Mara. Mara, we are having the global structure, right? So using this global structure, I'm creating this internal table. I don't have to declare the local structure because I'm going to get all the field of the Mara table. If you want, you can declare the local structure also, as we have been doing, like using the types begin of like that. But here I am using the global structure itself. This Mara itself I am using. Okay. Press enter, and now field symbol. Okay. The field symbols, if you know that already we have discussed, right? If you know the fixed type, that fs underscore Mara type, right? And in that case, you must be knowing about the table type for this Mara table. Then only you can use over here the table type. So we can search for some table type, or if it will not be there, we will quickly create SE11. Go to Mara table, and we have to actually look for the table type. So press F4 and search for the table type, and here you have to click on this OK button. I'm looking table type which is having the Mara as a line type. Okay, so give the j star Mara if someone has created earlier, we will use that one. Okay, someone has created. I think we only have created, right? But the line type is different. It is not having all the field. Okay, so no problem. We are going to use this table type only. Okay, we are going to use this table type only. So let me copy this table type, come over here, and we can use this table type. And here also we can use the same table type, right? Okay, so fine. So here you can see I'm just going to select some data. So select in this table type what we are having. Click on this display, go to here and see Matner, MTAT, MBRSS and MATKL. Matner, MTAT, MBRSH and MATKL. From Mara into table what IT underscore Mara. So here you know that this fs underscore Mara, right? Fs underscore Mara is a field symbol, is having the same type, and the IT underscore Mara both is same. So what you can do, you can assign, right? Assign IT underscore Mara to fs underscore Mara. So this fs underscore Mara will also become your internal table, and instead of this internal table you can directly use this one. This also you can do. Okay, instead of using this also you can do. Okay, put the full stop over here. Now it's fine. I will show you how you are going to get the data. Breakpoint and pt printer, check the syntax, activate and press F8. You can see over here now, you can just click on this fs underscore Mara and see all the records. 2374 we are having the records, right? Total number of records has come over here into this internal table, right? You can see this is the internal table. In this all the record has come, so we can use like this. Press F8, just come out. Now what actually I'm willing to tell you over here, suppose if you have to, like if you don't know what is the table you are having, right? Or suppose if you want to use the same field symbol for the different table, so what you can do, you can use here type any table. Okay, so whatever the table you will choose over here, for all the table you can use the same field symbol. Okay, for all the table you can use the same field symbol. So fs underscore Mara, type any table, you can use like this. Okay, so let us see if it is going to support or not. Check the syntax and it's fine. Activate this one and just press F8 and let us click on this field symbol and see again we are having the same records, right? Now what I'm trying to show you over here, that suppose we are having the table called Marcy. Let's suppose I'm having the table called Marcy. So data or 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 what I can do, instead of this I will use it over here, you know, Mara table. So Mara is having all the records, right? All the fields it is having. So it will consider all the fields. Here I was having only 4 records. So it was considering only the 4 records, right? Sorry, 4 fields. Okay. So now check the syntax. Check the syntax. It is telling IT underscore Mara already declared. Fine. Let me comment it. Okay. And now because this Mara I'm taking reference. So this is having all the fields. All the fields I'm going to select. Okay. All the fields I'm going to select. So you can give the select a star over here. Okay. So select a star from Mara into table fs underscore Mara. So the here you can see I'm not changing at the field symbol level anything because it is a type any table. So check the syntax. It underscore Mara has incompatible type. So it is telling both is having incompatible type. Let us see why it is telling like this. It underscore assign it underscore Mara. Okay, here I have given type Mara actually. That is the problem. I have to write type table of Mara because this should be your internal table, right? Whenever you are going to write type any table, that means this field symbol will become your internal table. Okay, this field symbol will be have like an internal table. Check the syntax now. Now it is fine. Activate this one, activate this, and put the breakpoint over here and press F8. And this time also you will see that it is working perfectly. There is no problem. And in fs underscore Mara, you will see a lot of data will come because it is having all the field. 241 fields is there in this Mara table. You will get all the data, all the 241 fields you will get. And you can see that at the field symbol level I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Similarly, the same field symbol you can use for Marcy table, Mardi table, whatever table. Here it will not change anything because it's a generic field symbol, because it's a generic field symbol. But now suppose if you want to access the field of this generic field symbol, okay, if you want to access the field of generic field symbol, and if you want to print the output, let us have a scenario where we have to print the output. Okay, so to print the output we must have to access the field one by one, then only we will be able to print, right? So I'm going to put the loop at fs underscore Mara, because all the data I'm having over here into, or here we can use the assigning one work area will be required, right? So I'm just giving this work area. So this work area also I'm marking as a field symbol. Okay, fs underscore wa full stop, and here and loop. So you can see this fs underscore Mara is type any table. Okay, so first I will show you with a fixed type. Okay, first I will show you with the fixed type. So comment this, and we are having this fixed type, right? Already defined over here on the data dictionary level, right? Or let's create one table type which is having the line type as a Mara. Okay, come over here in SC11, and now what we will do that we will create a line type 28. We will create a table type which is having the Mara as a line type. Okay, so it will be have like a table type. Click on this create button, go to this table type, click on this OK, and here I will give the table type for Mara. Okay, line type I will give the Mara. Okay, means this table, this table will contain the line same as Mara. Okay, already Mara is there, so no need to define this Mara. If you double click over here, you will see that it will take you to the Mara. Okay, it will take you to the Mara. Mara is already defined. This structure is defined already. So the same line type I'm keeping it over here. Click on this activate button. Just go back and copy this table type, and I'm going to use now this. I'm going to use now this. So here let me do one thing. I will comment everything and from fresh I will show you once again that create one data it underscore Mara, type control V, okay, and again you can create one field symbols, right, and give here the fs underscore Mara, and then you can give over here the type same, right, and select, I'm just selecting a star, I'm just selecting a star, select a star from Mara up to, let me take 10 rows only so it will be faster, into table fs underscore Mara, okay, full stop. So 10 rows I am selecting into this Mara table, okay, into this Mara table, and I want to print it over here. So loop at fs underscore Mara into one work area also I will require, right? So field symbols and one work area I will create, or so this will be, you know, the work area fs underscore Mara, and the work area will contain the single line, right? So work area you will have to give the reference of line type. So line type is Mara, right? So I'm giving the Mara as my line type so that it will be have like a work area. Okay, I'm not giving the as a reference as a type of table type, because if you will give the table type as a type, it will become your internal table, right? This concept you already know. So here loop at fs underscore Mara into here this is a work area. I'm just giving like this fs underscore wa, okay, and now if you will access over here the field, you will be able to access the field because it's a fixed field, fixed data type we are using for this field symbol, right? System already knows that what is the, you know, what is the field, and everything is there for this particular field symbol and for this particular field symbol as well. System already knows this particular fact, okay. How it knows? Because we are using in that way this fixed type I am using over here. And if you can see, if you go double click over here and if you go into Mara, you can see all the field is listed over here. So system already knows this fact. So here you don't have any problem while accessing the field of this fs underscore wa. So fs underscore wa hyphen matnr, okay, you can write it and then give the comma, and again whatever field you want to print you can print it here. There will be no problem at all, no problem at all. So I'm just printing two fields, okay. Pretty printer, check the syntax, activate it and press F8, and some error is there. It is telling field symbol has not been assigned yet. See, such kind of error you will see very frequently. Field symbol has not been assigned, you know, because I have not assigned, and without assigning I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to access my field, okay. So that's the mistake I have done. So this fs underscore Mara, this particular field symbol, you know, I'm using here into, I have to use assigning over here. Instead of into, I have to use assigning over here. Check, activate. This time it is not supposed to give the error. Field symbol has not yet assigned. Click on this debugger and see where it got failed. Okay, select a star up to 10 rows into table fs underscore Mara. Okay, I have not assigned this field symbol at this point of time also, so this system is giving the error. Fine, let me do one thing. I will assign this particular internal table so that it will not give me the error. Go to AC38 once again, I just missed to assign over there. Go into change mode, and I will prepare one internal table, right? So field uh, data, we are having already actually this internal table, just we have to assign. So assign it underscore Mara to fs underscore Mara. That's it. This much only we are supposed to do, and now it will work like anything. Activate this one and just uh, run this, put the breakpoint over here and press F8. This time there is no problem, it's working fine, and you can see the record is also being accessed one by one. You can see that in this work area, one by one record is coming from this internal table, and we are able to access. Press F8, and we will be able to see that for the 10 records the data is coming properly, it is able to print. But if you are going to give instead of this fixed type field symbol, if we're going to give the any table over here, type any table, okay, data will come over here, there is no problem. Okay, check this, it will give you the syntax error at this point of time, no syntax error found, but at the runtime it will give you the error because it's the type any table. Okay, just run it and let us see how it's going to behave. Okay, and just run it. Okay, at this point of time also it's working fine. The reason behind it's working fine because you can see here this field symbol is type Mara. This is the fixed type we have already defined, and this internal table is also having the fixed type. Okay, but if we're going to give the type any over here, okay, if we're going to give the type any, this generic structure, okay, so this time if we'll check the syntax, you can see it is giving the error. Why? Because I'm giving the generic data object over here, means generic field symbol is over here, type any I have given. System is not able to identify at this point of time what is the component of this particular field symbol work area, because type any is there, right? Because type any is there, so system is not able to identify. Okay, so in order to make but if you have to print it, you have to print it, right? If you just remove this, it will not give you any error. Check the syntax, there is no error. So while accessing the value at that point of time only it is giving the error. So to access the value, what you can do, one by one you can access the field of this particular table and you can print. So how to do? So what you will have to do, you will have to write assign component of this particular field symbol work area, right? fs underscore wa to assign component of what is this? This is your work area. That means structure. So you'll have to also give over here this structure. Assign component of a structure to, and here again you will have to give some field symbol of type any, right? So here fs underscore field you can give field, full stop, and check, click on this pretty printer, check the syntax. Okay, some error is there. Assign component. Okay, actually I have to tell the component, which component? matnr, right? So here also you'll have to give the matnr. Okay, now it is fine, and here you are assigning the value in this. So instead of the printing matner, what you can do, that the matner value is assigning into this particular field. So runtime all these things it will do, and then it will not give you any error. So write fs underscore field, and now we'll get the data over here. Similarly, what you can do, that assign component instead of partner, the second we are having the mtart, right, of a structure of a structure fs underscore wa to fs underscore field. Okay, so this maybe you can okay, so first you write this one. We can use the same field symbol 2 times. Okay, so I'm just assigning the component partner to this particular field. Once it is done, what I will do, I will unassign. Okay, unassign. I will unassign, so that I will use without unassigning also you can use, but it's a good practice to first unassign, right? Like it is clearing, right? You are clearing something, you are clearing the reference. Okay, unassigned, so I'm just unassigning, and against the same field symbol I'm using over here for this mtart, and here I will print. Okay, and here I will print, give the full stop over here, and here write fs underscore field. So this is how we'll have to do if we're going to use the type any. So for the fresher, don't have to worry, you don't have to go, this much all these things. Just I'm showing you that how it can be done, but no such kind of interview question and all you will get as a fresher level generally. So here this is the fs underscore field. What you can do, will have to define, because I have not defined, so it is giving me the error. If field field symbol, I will just use this control D, and I will give over here fs underscore field, fs underscore field, right? So type any I will just use, because I don't know what type of that particular component is there. I don't know, right? What kind of data type it is containing. So I will just use fs underscore field type any. Okay, pretty printer, check the syntax now. And again some error is there, some the problem is here field I'm using, and some mismatch is there. Let me check. The field symbol is unknown. Okay, it should be same name, right? The name should be same. Some typo error is there. Check the syntax now, and this is fine. Activate it, and let us see how it's behaving in the debugging. Press F8 and come over here. In this fs underscore, I will see the 10 records has already been fetched in by the select star, right? The 10 records I have get all the 10 records. I'm printing this matnr and this mtart, these two particular fields I'm printing. Okay, so the one by one I will get the record into this fs underscore w a. Press f6 and you will see fs underscore w is now having one record, right, having the matnr and mtrt. I just want to print this. Okay, so I'm assigning the component. Okay, so press f6 and you will see the assigned component partner of a structure fswa into this field. So whatever the partner value will be there, it will come into this field. So 17 is the first record of this structure. 17 is the value of the partner in this structure. So in this fs underscore field 17 is coming, and this 17 I'm just printing. Okay, similarly assign component mtart, so assigning mtart component of this particular structure and putting it over here in this field. So it is a roh, and you can see the right is there, and once it is going to be successful, size of rc will become 0. Okay, once the assigning is going to be successful, once the assigning is going to be successful, the size of rc will become 0 if it is going to get successfully assigned. Okay, press f6 and similarly press f8. It will print all the data. You can see it is printing. If you want to format it, the data, give the slash over here so that everything will come in a new line. Okay, so press f8, and you can see now you are able to print it. So how you are going to do it dynamically? This is very useful when you don't know what kind of a structure, means what kind of data you are going to have, and you want to use the things dynamically. So this is the part of a dynamic programming, right? This is a glimpse of dynamic programming. This is a very basic, very basic, things. There are so many things, but this is the beginning from where you can start, like how dynamically you can see how dynamically we are, using the things, right? So, okay, if you have any question, feel free to ask any question, or else what I will do, I will show you some another stuff over here. That is called, data references. Okay. So if any question, if you have, feel free to ask, or
Yes,
else we'll go to,
sir.
yeah, please tell me. Yes.
Sir, in the generally in the field symbols, sir, this either
Mm-hmm.
dynamic or static. In which situation you are using, sir? In the real time, you are already using some. You are already working, no? In which situation this field symbol will come, sir?
Yeah, whenever you will have to use one situation, I have already told you, like if you have to modify the large amount of data, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday we
Yes.
have seen. So there we are
Yes.
using the field symbol. Another
Yeah.
situation where you have to determine when you have to do the things dynamically. Here you can see this is the real time example only. See, this is
Okay.
the real time example. Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
real time. It- No,
For
so.
example, sir, I have 1 lakh records in one table. That is a
Mm-hmm,
Z table. Z table.
mm-hmm,
There
mm-hmm.
is a one field in that is called year. Year.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
In right now in that field, the year is 2019. Right now, I
Okay.
want to change that year now from 2019 to 2020 for all 1 lakh records.
Okay. In that your
Now,
database table, right? G
yes,
table.
yes, yes, G table.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah,
can we? Yeah,
yeah. Here, yeah, we can do that one. I will let you know. Here we are talking about the internal table. Okay.
yeah,
So
yes, sir.
how we are going to do the modify the internal table and all. So
Yeah,
we will see that, like how we can do the operation on the database table. So your G table is your database table. So how we are going to modify, change, and delete the G
yes.
table. So
Okay,
that part I will cover in the coming session after 1 or 2 class maybe. Okay, that will be
okay.
same
Thank you.
detail how we
Oh,
can do. Okay, fine,
thank
no
you.
problem. So here, uh, let's go back and we will see one concept is data references. We will So data references is nothing but it's a pointer. If someone of you are from the programming background, if you have learned about the C or C++, something like that, so data references is nothing but it's a pointer in data references. So it's a pointer to any data object. So when we talk about the pointer, what is the meaning of pointer, right? So pointer, if you remember, pointer is nothing but it's a variable. It's a variable which stores the address of another variable, right? Variable. So this is known as the pointer in C. In C, this is the definition of a C pointer. So this is also a pointer, which points the address of another data object. So for example, suppose if you are having here, this is one variable. Let us suppose this is x equal to you are having 200, right? X equal to 200. So x is the name of memory place, memory area, right? X is the name of memory area. So this is our x, and this memory area is having the value 200, right? And when we are talking about the data references, we can create one reference which will have the address of this particular, let us suppose 1000 is the address of this particular memory address. So we are going to create one data reference. So data reference, generally we create the data reference like this, lv underscore dr for data reference, type ref2, okay, data. So this data is a generic data type. This data is itself a see data here we are writing over here now, data, right? So this data we use to declare the data object, right? So this data type, this data is also a data type which represents the generic data object, okay? So here I'm just giving this data object, and here this data object, lv underscore dr type ref2 data, this will call as a data references, okay? This will call as a data reference. This can be also your, you can give some I also, integer data type, C also you can give the so let's take a simple example, lv underscore dr type ref2i. I'm just referring to integer data type. This 200 is my integer variable, and I have to just point the address of this this address of this 200 we have to refer, okay? So I'm just creating a reference variable which should refer this particular 200 value with the help of this address, okay? So what you will do, once you are creating this lv underscore dr type ref2i, after that you will have to create, this is the how you are going to declare the data references. Then you will have to create the data reference object. So create lv underscore dr, you'll have to write like this. So now this will create your data reference which will point to whatever the value it will contain, okay? So now let's go to the system and we will see the demo directly over here. Go back and come over here, 10, click on this create button, and data references, data references, type executable program, save local object, and here let's give this data. Let's suppose I'm going to create the data reference, for an integer type of data type, okay? So lv underscore dr, this bracket is not required over here, lv underscore dr type ref2 I for integer data type, and then create, you will have to write create lv underscore create data lv underscore dr, you will have to give. So now this data references is pointing to this integer data type lv underscore dr, okay? Now you cannot directly access this lv underscore dr, okay? Suppose if you are going to modify the record, or if you want to put some value for this lv underscore dr, you will not be able to put, so you will not able to do so, okay? Means if you are going to put lv underscore dr equals to 10, it will not work, okay? It will give you the error. Check the syntax, you can see that type 10 cannot be converted to the type lv underscore dr because it's a data references of integer data type. So to access the content inside the memory area, we are just referencing the address, we are not referencing the memory area. So we have to access the content. So to access the content we have to use this symbol, hyphen will have to give greater than, and you will have to give the star. These three things will have to give, then only you will be able to access the content, okay? What I'm trying to tell you over here, you'll have to give the create data And after this, if we're going to give LV underscore DR star equals to 100, so what will happen? At place of 200, it will become 100 over here. So this is how you can access the content of a data reference variable. Okay, so if you are going to, if we're going to LV underscore DR equal to 100, if we're going to try, this is nothing but you are trying to change this address, which is not possible or which is illogical. So generally LV underscore DR, as per my understanding, it will be pointing to this 10,000, okay, address memory. Or here LV underscore DR, this hyphen, then greater than and the star, it is going to access the content of the value stored at this particular memory location. So that 200 will become 100. Okay, if we're going to give here 500, then the content will become over here 500. Okay, so this is the concept of the data references. This also will be used a lot in real time, means for the dynamic programming, not means whenever you will have to use the dynamic programming, then this concept is going to be used. Okay, so generally we don't do all these things, no? But we should know the concept. That's why we are just covering. Okay, so create data LV underscore DR start 10 is there, right? Similarly, what you can do, if you have this character data type, right, then you will have to give here the character value. For example, you are having 10, okay, its length is 10, so we can give the RAM, and if you want to print this value also you can print. Okay, so write LV underscore DR star. Okay, check the syntax, and some error is there. What it is telling, a generic data type cannot be specified. Ref2, why it is telling me, just a second. A generic data type cannot be specified after ref2. Okay, something I'm doing wrong over here. Let me do one thing. Type ref2I it was supporting. Okay, when I giving C, let me check C. Okay, so I think C is not being supported by this. Let me try to give char10 or something like this, some data element, control F2. Yeah, so data element char10, if you are having like that, it is fine. If we're going to use this data element, it is supporting, but directly type C it is not supporting. You can see it's giving the error. Okay, so we can use directly over here char10. Okay, and now if we're going to print this value, we'll be able to print it. Okay, so put the breakpoint over here and press F8, and here you can see the LV underscore DR. You can see it is a data reference. That's why whenever you are going to create any reference, it will come in a this type of bracket, curly braces it will come. Okay, and now if we're going to press F6, you can see that how it is coming, because now it's a data object. This is called a referenced data object. This is called a referenced data object, and because I have to access it contents, so I will have to dereference it. Because I will have to access its content, I will have to dereference it. So for dereferencing purpose, we'll have to use this, as we have discussed. This particular syntax will have to use. And if you press enter, now the value of this particular data object will get dereferenced, and you will be able to see the content. Press enter and you will see currently there is no content assigned. After this statement, RAM will come over here. Press F6 and you can see the RAM has come over here, and if you want to print, you can print it. Okay, so this is how, this is how data reference works. This is how data reference works. Data reference is of two types again. One is the fixed type data reference and another is the generic data reference. Okay, data reference is also of two types. So I will just show you over here. Here we are having data reference is two types again, the fixed data reference, a typed data reference, not fixed, right? Typed data reference, and another is generic data reference, and another, let me do one thing. Okay, and another is generic data reference. So in type we will give the type as I have been giving over here, right? I have been giving over here carton, I. So but for the generic, this is the fixed. This is known as the fixed or typed. Okay, type data reference. Now here the generic data reference. Generic data reference. Okay, so in the generic data reference, you will be having the same thing, but instead of type ref2, you will have to give the generic data object over here. That generic data object is data. Okay, data is a generic data object. So when you are referencing the generic data object, this will become your generic object reference. Okay, and when you are going to create the create data elv_dr, it will be the generic data object. Okay, so now if it is a character or integer, whatever, it does not matter. Okay, it will store everything. It will store everything. For example, if we're going to put the value lv_dr hyphen, but here, here create data lv_dr type, you will have to mention. Here you will have to mention the type. So maybe let me show you what I'm trying to tell you over here. Let's suppose this is type I. Okay, type I. So this lv_dr will be have, it will contain the data. It will contain the data. It can access the data of type integer. Okay, so put the star over here and you can give the 10 over here. Okay, click on printer. So it will access the integer value. Okay, write lv_dr, then this star, and that's it. Check the syntax. There is some problem already declared. Give the, because here already I have declared, let me comment it out. Press F2, and now again some problem is there. It is telling field I is unknown. So give some space. Some syntax error is there maybe. Okay, type off. Do you have to give off? Is it I create dr_type? Check the syntax once again. Type ref to data, field I is unknown. It is telling field I is unknown. Okay, actually it should not check the syntax at this point of time because we are putting in a bracket. So if we're going to put anything in a bracket, that particular things it should ignore. But something I'm doing the mistake over here. Let me check. Field I, or what we will do that we will press F1 over here and we will see the syntax how it is, and then accordingly we will do. Okay, so type ref2, this one actually I'm looking for. Click on this, double click, type ref2, type data object, that's fine. Come over here, type ref2, I'm looking for generic data object. I'm looking for the generic data object. Here it is not there. Okay. Data type ref to data, create data. Do you have to remove this? Is it create? No. Okay, suppose if I'm not giving this one, let me see. Check it now. The type specification can only be omitted when using fully typed data reference. The type LV_DR, however, is a generic. Yeah, this is the generic. That's why we are trying to give. Okay, that's why to give. So let me check what is the problem. Here it looks good. But problem is there. I'm just trying to identify this one. Okay. Okay, I think we don't have to give the bracket directly. We will give the type. I check the syntax, and a generic reference cannot be dereferenced in the current statement. Okay, this is fine. This statement is correct. This we cannot do like this. Okay, so check the syntax. Now it's fine. You can see there is no problem. So what actually I'm trying to do, this is my generic data references. This is my generic data references, and here I'm creating a data object which is of type integer, which is pointing to, which is pointing to itself, LV_DR. Okay, so now if you want to access the content of generic data object, you will have to use the field symbol. Okay, you will have to use the field symbol. So we'll create the field symbol fs, and I can use this type any, right? Because this you don't know what kind of integer is going to come over here, right? What kind of integer is going to come over here, so you don't know, right? So now what you can do, you can write this assign fs to lv, just going in a opposite way, LV_DR to fs. Okay, full stop, pretty printer, check the syntax, and it is fine now. Activate this one, and then now you can access the content. Okay, so LV_DR, what I have done over here, LV_ I'm assigning to this. I want to access its content. So because to accessing the content, we'll have to use this. You will have to dereference it. So I'm just dereferencing it and assigning to this field symbol. And now I can access the value with the help of field symbol. So whatever the value we will put for this LV_, if you whatever you want to do, whatever value you are going to put this fs at this particular fs, the same value it will come over here in LV_DR at this particular place. So just I have assigned, and fs give the 10 over here the value, and then write this one, check the syntax, activate it, and let's go and check into the debugging. Press F8. Okay, and here you can see that it's no value currently because it's of type integer, right? Press F6, value got assigned, this fs is now assigned, and as soon as the 10 is coming here, also the 10 is coming, right? So this is how the generic data references works over here. If you have any doubt over here, you can just ask me. Okay, this is how generic data references work. Okay, this is how the generic data references work.
Pankaj, in real time, this type reference, in which scenarios we can go for this?
Real time, for example, suppose if you have let's take one real time example. Okay, in the real time example, suppose you are going to fetch the data. Your requirement is something like select data from different table and display in output. Okay, so you are going to select data from different tables. So for that you are giving a parameters. Okay, p underscore table type. Let us suppose the type you are giving over here some table. Okay, so it can be any table. So go to SE11 and for table we are having the DD03L. DD03L is the table. From there I will take the type of the table. This is the field name, table name, tab name is the data element, tab name itself. Come over here and I will give the tab name as a data element. So, and my requirement is what? I want to print, I want to print the record from the given table. Activate this one and press F8. Here, if I'm going to give the Mara table, it should fetch the record from the Mara table and it should display in the output. Similarly, if I'm going to give the Marcy table, it should display the output from the Marcy table. If I'm going to display the record from the Mardi table, it should display the record from the Mardi table. Okay, so this is my requirement over here. So select, I'm just using over here, just I'm writing select a star from Mara up to 10 rows from into table, and you will have to give some internal table, right? Internal table. Okay, and here I'm just using one SAP given CL demo output. I'm using the SAP given class to display the data. Okay, so display data, this class I'm using over here, and the value IT underscore tab, it will display you. Okay, paste it over here, and here I'm just writing dynamic data display. Okay, so dynamic data display. What you can do, you can put the loop on this particular internal table into a work area. One by one also you can print, but this is also one way to display the output. Okay, so here first this IT underscore tab I will have to declare, I will have to define IT underscore tab, otherwise it will give the error. So type table of Mara pretty printer, check the syntax, check here, activate it, put the breakpoint over here and press F8. Once again press F8. Here I'm not giving anything as of now, I'm directly selecting the data from Mara. Okay, press F6 and it will, when you are again going to press F6, it is showing you the data like this. Okay, so here I am hard coding the table, right? I want to put here the table, maybe it can be Marcy also, it can be Mardi also. So this I want to get from the selection screen. Okay, this table I don't know what table you have to paste the data. Your requirement is like that. Whatever you are going to put onto the selection screen, from that table only you will have to fetch the data. Okay, so from this table you have to fetch the data. So this you will have to put into the bracket, because this is not a table, this is a variable, and if you will not give the this bracket, system will think that this is a table and it will tell p underscore table is not defined in a web dictionary. So just to avoid the syntax check, I'm just going to give this bracket. So system at compile time will not do anything, will not check anything. Okay, and you can see now p underscore table is not defined in the web dictionary as a table. That's fine, that's true. Okay, so select a star from p underscore table. Okay, no worries. Yeah, check now. Okay, and this point of time you can see when you are going to put into the bracket, it is when you are going to put into the bracket, there is no problem because it is not checking at this point of time. Okay, but at runtime, whatever you will get the value, right? Whatever you will get the value, put it, activate it, and put the breakpoint over here, press F8, and here you are going to give the Mara. Okay, run it, and you will see that press F6, and into this IT underscore table, you can see the 10 record has come. Why? Because data is getting from this P underscore table. P underscore table is Mara only. So from Mara, it is selecting the data. Now, can any one of you tell me if I'm going to give the Mardi over here, will it work fine? Or Marcy, some another table I'm going
No,
to give?
no, sir.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
will
No,
why
work.
it will?
no, no,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, why it will not work? Can any one of you tell me why it will not work?
Because we have defined internal table type of model in data
Yeah,
access.
yes, we here the internal table is type of Mara, but here the table is Marcy. I'm getting the data from Marcy, but my internal table is of type different. So what it will happen that if some data mismatch or data type mismatch will be there, it will give you the dump, or if it does not give the dump, your data will not be correct. So it can give the dump or it cannot give. Both scenario is there, but data is not going to be correct. That is for sure. Press F6 and you can see some dump is coming, right? Because we are not having the same type of internal table, right? We are not having the same type of internal table. So here you can see that you will have to, if you have to give the Marcy, check the syntax, activate this, and put the breakpoint over here, press F it. So just give me 10 minutes only, and I will just complete this one and then I will stop it over here. Sorry, I'm supposed to give Marcy actually, /n SC38. So if we're going to give the Marcy, it will work, but other than Marcy, it will not work. Okay, so for Marcy, why it will work? Because here I have defined this internal table explicitly for this Marcy, and if you press F6, it will work. In IT underscore tab, you will see the 10 records from Marcy has come. Marcy is the plant table, a Matner plant. You can see Marcy is a different table than Mara table. Okay, it contains the plant information, and you can see for all the material it is having the plant information like this. Now just go back. What actually I'm trying to tell you over here, every time for you it is not possible to come and change, right? So you have to think in a such a way that whatever you give the table, it does not matter. Your table, like you don't have to come and change every time, whatever. User will not go and change every time, like whatever. You have to think something, dynamically, which should work for everything. So this is one place where dynamic programming comes into the picture. This is a simple example. Okay. So here we can use the data references and field symbol to achieve our dynamic programming. Okay. So what I'm going to do that I will have to create one internal table dynamically, which should be compatible with the table from which I am going to fetch the data. So how to prepare the dynamic internal table? So the first step for the dynamic internal table, for first step, what we'll have to do that come over here. In the first step, we'll have to create the data references. Okay, we'll have to create the data reference. So create the data reference variable or data reference object, right? So how to create? I will give the data and lt underscore table. Let's keep the table name lt underscore table, or we can use this it underscore tab itself. Let's make it underscore tab as a dynamic internal table. So give this it underscore tab type, ref to data. So generic data object you will have to mark it, because you don't know what kind of internal table it is going to become. So generic data reference I'm marking over here, I'm making over here. Then create, you will have to write this syntax what we have learned. Create data it underscore tab, okay, it underscore tab type table of, you will have to give, and you will have to tell to the system what kind of generic data reference need to be created, right? We should be pointing to itself, right? So here, what is the table? Table is nothing but your p underscore table, right? This p underscore table. So this parameter must be over here. So in this parameter, this p underscore table, you are getting the table name. So the same, with the same table name, we'll have to create the internal table. But would you be able to access it directly? No. As I have told you, if you have the data reference of generic type, you will not be able to access directly. Directly in the sense, you will not be access it using like this over here. Directly, you will not be able to using like this. Okay. So what we will have to do, that we'll have to create the field symbol, right? Using the field symbol only you can access to fs underscore tab type any table you will do, right? Because this is your dynamic data object, right? Dynamic internal table. So for internal table, we know we have to give type any table, right? And we have to assign the dereferenced data object, because we have to access the content. We have to assign the content of this particular, reference data object to this field symbol. So first we'll have to dereference it. Dereference means I'm accessing the content of this particular referenced data object. Okay, whatever the data is there at particular memory location, I'm accessing that. So assign it underscore tab to a face underscore tab. Okay, full stop. Just give the full stop over here, and now it's good to go. Now this fs underscore tab is going to be have like a dynamic internal table. Okay, fs underscore tab, and that's it. This much only we'll have to do to declare the dynamic internal table, right? These 4 steps you will have to do. And now whatever table you will do, you will give from that table, it will face the entry, and because the same internal table it will be created over here, so you will not face any problem, and you will get the data nicely without any problem, without any hurdle, without any glitch on the output. Check the syntax now. There is no problem. Activate this, and it got activated. Press F8, give the Mara table. Now you will get the data from Mara also. If you are going to give the Marcy table also, will not get any dump. You will get the data from Marcy also. If you are going to give the Mardi table also, you will get the data from Mardi also. And the table which we have created, ZMB28 student, something like that, from that table also you will get the data ZMB28 underscore student will have to, we have created the table, I think. So let us check if this table will be there, it will come or it will give the dump or something like that. So this table is there, you can see that we have created this table, and from this table it is getting this data. So this is how and where that, see, if you are not having the data references, how would you be able to do all these things, right? It was not possible. So this is one real-time example. Okay, so in debugging, just I will show you quickly and then we will stop our session here itself. Okay, press F8, give, let's suppose I'm going to give our table ZMB28 student. Okay, press F8. So to get the data from ZMB28 underscore student, we must have the internal table of the same type, right? So press F6 and here press F6 and you can see that IT underscore tab, it is at this point of time what it is a referenced data object. It is the reference data object at this point of time. So I'm just going to dereference it just to show you how it has created the same internal table having the same field. Press enter and 8 field is having Z MB28 student. You can see all the field it is showing over here, right? That particular ZMB28 demo 0, whatever table is that. Okay, so in that particular table we are having the 8 fields. So all the 8 fields, with the 8 fields, internal table is prepared now dynamically, and with the help of field symbol I'm going to access the structure. Right here I'm going to access the a structure of that particular table, and once I so that's why a structure and content, actually if you click over here, this particular internal table, this is completely internal table. Currently it's blank, right? Currently it's a blank, and just I'm assigning over here. So this field symbol is now also become your internal table. You can see both is of same structure. Here you can see, here just observe, if you double click over here, here you can see, but you cannot access this one directly. You will have to use the field symbol. This is how it has been designed. With the help of field symbol only you will be able to use. Okay, so I'm using here the field symbol because this field symbol is my internal table over here, and the data I got fs underscore tab, the 6 record is there, 6 record I have got, and this will print your output. Press F8 and you can see this is the output. So this is how it's working. Please practice this one. If you're able to practice, that's fine. Just try to understand the concept at least. Okay, for those who are experienced over here, it is mandatory for them to do the practice. For the fresher, if you are able to understand, it's fine. If you have any doubt, please ask me. If you are facing some problem, there is no issue. It's a little conceptual. For a fresher, it can be little difficult to understand, but no worries, try to understand. I have tried with my level best to explain over here. Okay, but still this is not going to be an interview question for a fresher. Okay, so but just you should know like what is the data references, what is the field symbol. So just to remember, it will be better if you remember this data references is nothing but it's a pointer to any data object, this much. And for the field symbol, just remember it is a placeholder for the data object. And if you want to learn in detail, there are many blogs. Okay, one very good blog is there. I will share on this uh, on the shared that WhatsApp shared group. I will share over there. So that is very good blog. Very nicely they have explained over here about this data references, field symbol, and everything. Okay, you can go through that and you can learn from there. Okay, fine then. With this, let us stop our session over here. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask, or else we will stop here itself. Okay, any question?
Thank you very much, Pankaj. It was very clear. Thanks a lot.
Okay, you were able to understand, right?
Yes, it was very clear. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Let's stop our session and we'll meet tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye bye.